at least a tighter fit and finish. You know, I don't need a faster, crazier bike. I just need a tighter fit and finish. Pushing 70 miles an hour, able to do it, not bad at all. That was a weird situation. A couple of the guys almost got hit by incoming traffic. The lady was not paying attention at all, or maybe it was just a dumbass and she wanted to ride the bicycle lane, because that's exactly what they did, is rode the bicycle lane. Kawasaki Ninja z400. We'll see how this thing rolls. It's a very light bike, very small bike, easy to get over. Suspension's relatively stiff. I might be bottoming it out though, so I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out on the ride. Feels much more relaxed on the 1000 than it is, you know, a third of the size. But overall feels different, decent. Let's see how it goes. Simple TFT display, simple controls, simple operations, nothing crazy. Let's turn off the high beams. You definitely feel it in the brakes and controls though. God, this thing feels interesting. Yeah, take a picture. I look like a fucking gorilla on this thing. Take a picture, take a picture.
Alright, riders, when you guys are good, comfortable, ready to ride, do show me with those thumbs in the air. Alright, we're looking good. John, they're all yours, brother.
Easy, I'll be back.
Looking live, riders, here we go.
The controls, clutch, throttle feels lazy. I don't know if it needs adjustment and it's a cable throttle, but it feels super lazy. A lot of slack in it. I bet that's a throttle cable. It needs to be adjusted. It doesn't have cruise control or any of that stuff, so I don't know if it has it or not. I'm gonna have to look it up a little bit later. Ask one of the gentlemen after that. Throttle feels. Controls are subpar though. Honestly, the clutch, the brake feel, the foot position is better than the other ones. It's a little more underneath, but it's way too compact. I'm telling you right now though, the KTM 390, much better bike. Much better bike, much better bike, much better bike. Fit and finish, the feel, the positioning, everything. I'm honestly not a fan of this Z400. And I'm gonna have to try the Z650 honestly, because if it feels the same as this, I am not a fan. Not a fan. My last man, not quite, but close enough. Ooh, very nimble, very nimble. Likes to dance around, that's good. Transmission feels decent, doesn't feel super strong and stiff, and it doesn't feel floppy like the other ones, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. But it is, man, this thing is nimble as hell. You can just dart around everything. No quick shifter, but the clutch is very light. But honestly, it feels out of adjustment. It feels like the clutch release point is very late. I would have to adjust it down there and then up here. You know, it's going to require some adjustment. The bike's probably been beat on a little bit. 42 miles an hour comfortably in six gear. Jesus, 6 gear. We're already going 40. 6th gear going 42 miles an hour. Not terrible. Here we go, here we go. It seems like I forgot to tie my helmet again. My bad. All this excitement. At least I am turning off the bikes. That's a good thing. Ooh, very smooth on and off the throttle. It's not real herky-jerky or anything like that. Feels nice and smooth. Even though it does have that gigantic dead spot in the throttle in the beginning. Man, I bet that has to be adjustment. Look at all that dead play. Feels tight though. The bike feels nice and tight. Fit and finish, definitely better than the Versys 1000, but not quite as good as the 1000 SX. That felt like a lot better bike. My favorite so far was the Z650. The controls, the transmission, the brakes, the levers, everything felt solid and confidence inspiring. This one's the suspension is much better than I would say than the Z650. It feels more taut. It could just be down to adjustment on the Z650, but this thing does feel tighter. Do I feel more comfortable on the bike? No. My feet are more forward, but they are up just as high, and so my knees are kind of tucking up, and I'm more of in a fetal position as opposed to a cavity search with my heels. Overall, not bad. Let's see how it does on the pole. Honestly, I already kind of felt it just to keep up with everybody. It requires some moving. Apparently, it goes up to about 11,500, 12,000 RPMs. Let's see if we can rev it all the way out there when we get out there to the highway portion. Again, 5th gear. Man, this thing just doesn't have the guts to push me around. I mean, it does. It definitely moves day to day. You know, if I wanted to get around, not a problem, have some fun, you know, but anything where I need power to move around, or if I'm going 60 miles an hour and I gotta go around somebody who's, you know, it's not giving me much confidence there. This clutch is terrible as well. Absolutely terrible. All the touches need adjustment. At least the back brake is a lot stronger, I'd say, than the SX1, the 1000 SX. Or at least it feels stronger for the bike itself. Now the bike is a nice tight light package. It moves back and forth very easily. I feel very confident starting and stopping. Has a great large turning radius. Man, this clutch sucks. And this throttle sucks. And it's terrible that it's probably just down to adjustment, and it probably felt different or a lot better, or at least adequate if it was properly adjusted. But look at this. I have to get all the way up to 8,000 RPMs just to feel this thing starting to get alive. Around 5,000, and when it wakes up, it does revel, I think, a little higher, maybe like a grand more than the KTM 390 or the Husky 401. But honestly, power band is about the same. Power band is about the same. If anything, yeah, about the same, I'd say. That was a weird situation with that UPS van, or USPS van. He was kind of dancing in his lane. I'm going around the bus, everybody else went around, I couldn't go around, that guy's a little slow. It's okay. It's just what happens sometimes. Okay, this Sentra's looking to give us a run for our money. I know we're taking a right up at the next second or third light, something like that, so these guys are probably going to move over. Man, these mirrors are terrible. And I wanted to say the same thing on the Ninja 1000. The mirrors are in a horrible location. I mean, they're theoretically they're good, but then they're about like 2.5, 3 inches high and like 6 inches wide. So it just gives you a, it looks like you're looking through the rearview mirror of a Corvette or of a Camaro. You know, it's just not much space to look through. And these are the same, very proximal, very short, very, unfortunately, terrible mirrors for the bike. Yeah, the Ninja 1000, you just kind of had to look under your armpit. It wasn't great at seeing behind you at all. I mean, you could see to the left and to the right, but by no means are you able to see behind you unless you actually turn around. Coming up to that left hand, and then we're going to make a right. God, the bike just falls in line. It just tips over like you want it to. Okay, we're coming up to the highway section pretty soon, making a right at the light here. And then we'll cut to the section, let's see how it is. And we'll cut this video for this particular bike after the highway section. Again, power band, we know it's going to be lackluster and insufficient. Let's see how the bike maneuvers otherwise, especially on the highway. We can get it up to a decent highway speed and see how it sits there. Already in 5th or 6th gear, around 50 miles an hour, I had to be floating just for it to kind of maintain itself. Okay, we're going to load into 3rd. We're at about 5,000 RPMs. About 5,000 RPMs. I do like the sweeping gauge with the gold. It's a lot more noticeable, a lot prettier, a lot more. Man, it takes forever to get up there. This sucker is gutless. Absolutely gutless. 4th gear. Here we go. Let's rock it. You gotta rip the shit out of it for it to go anywhere. I guess it'll hold 50 or 60 miles an hour. Comfortably, that's another thing. I mean, I didn't feel the wind very much at all or anything. You know, actually the cut on this is a lot better than the XSR 900. I feel more stable. I don't feel as much as a parachute. But I have to say, it is fucking gutless. Man, this thing has no power. No power. No power. Oh, and by the way, this seat is absolutely terrible. Like, terrible. Terrible. Oh, terrible. Oh, the seat is terrible. The worst of them all. It's like cardboard, got stuffed with cardboard on top of hatred. It's like somebody's stepfather stepped in and was like, you little shit are taking time away from my wife, and now you're gonna have to sit and shovel your shit because you're on refeed. And man, this seat is God, this seat is terrible. Oh, it's medieval torture. And I'm not too sure if there's a way to change it. There might be, there might be a better option for it, but is it currently equipped? No, not by any means. Tiny bike, easy to flat foot. Suspension's a little soft. I feel like I'm buttoning it out. Then again, fully geared, 300-pound man. Huge dead spot. Honestly, the bike feels kind of cheap. Not a fan. I was expecting more Kawasaki. At least a tighter fit and finish. I don't need a faster, crazier bike. I just need a tighter fit and finish. Pushing 70 miles an hour, able to do it, not bad at all. That was a weird situation. A couple of guys almost got hit by incoming traffic. Lady was not paying attention at all, or maybe it was just a dumbass and she wanted to ride the bicycle lane, because that's exactly what they did, is rode the bicycle lane. That 300SX or 300SM is behind me. We're doing good. We're making good time. Let's cut this video now.